YouTubers suck as people. I think we could all agree on this. And there's not that many things at this point that really would shock us coming from a YouTuber, which is why I have to say bravo to Caroline Constner, because she has indeed shocked me. After a long hiatus from YouTube, she came back to her channel in a very interesting way. She faked a miscarriage, called her fans parasocial weirdos, and then proceeded to beg for money. I want to go over these two videos right here, her recent two ones, but first, for some context, Caroline, she's like a pseudo-intellectual, quirky, funny type artsy girl. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think it's just an accurate description. And she did used to make genuinely creative, good content. Like, she's got the nice retro style to her videos. She seems like she has a decent personality, and she kind of abandoned this channel for one reason or another, and she started appearing on this a lot, which I believe is her podcast. It's kind of like an Eric Andre meets The Office type vibe I think they're going for, and it's not bad. I mean, she's a talented girl, but that doesn't mean she's not a little crazy, because she came back with an announcement after, I guess, a year of not posting on this account, and this was it.
Ovulating, and I had like a plug of blood come out, and I was like, oh my god, I'm pregnant. I'm 20 years old, and I am figuring out.
So she's very Emma Chamberlain inspired with her videos, as you can see. Here's her doing some very convincing acting that she's actually pregnant.
I'm good, guys. I'm actually so good. I want to have a kid. I just don't think I can have a fucking kid right now. And I really want a kid. I do want a fucking kid. And I'm not being stupid. I'm not being like, oh, well, you're young. You don't really know what it's like. You have so much life to live. Fuck you! I'm having a baby. Like, I'm having the baby. It's not like I'm getting rid of it. It's like, I'm having the baby. I'm gonna have a baby.
And then she proceeds to talk about some fertility issues that she might potentially have in the future because of surgeries that she had, and she's really selling it at this point to everybody. And here's some more of her acting.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Here's some more pregnancy talk.
Could possibly do. I've had friends and family reach out to me, and I've just sort of casually told them that I'm having a child. I haven't really done a whole announcement, but the reaction that I get from people is so interesting, because they're like, oh, that's so nice for you. I'm really glad that you're deciding to do that with your life. And I'm like, god damn, can't we make motherhood cool again? We need a new ad campaign for motherhood, seriously.
And then she ends the video with this heartfelt message.
Because I'm gonna be having a baby very soon. I slapped this video together just to let you all know where I've been for the past few months and where I'm gonna be in the coming months. And I really hope that I can take you on this journey with me. Thank you guys for staying here with me and being here with me and hopefully supporting me in the future. So stay tuned, guys.
And her fans were happy for her. One person saying, congratulations, hope you all the best, Caroline. I think you'll be a great mom. Another person saying, congratulations, Caroline. You're going to be an amazing mother. You are beautiful, witty, intelligent, and creative, and you'll pass these traits down to your child by nature and nurture. Overall, the comments were pretty wholesome. People were happy for her, as I would be if I was a fan of hers. Like, I remember when PewDiePie announced that his wife was having a baby. I was happy for him. I think being happy for the creator in this specific scenario is a pretty normal response from a fan. And just 1 week later, she made this video right here titled, I Lost the Baby. And as you can see by the thumbnail, it's insinuating that she had a miscarriage. And she did this presumably to have a higher click-through rate on the video to ultimately convert people to her Patreon. But surprisingly, I don't think it had a higher click-through rate, because if you look at the views, way less than her average video. But that being said, it was only posted a few days ago, so this could change. And the whole tone of this video is in some weird pseudo-intellectual condescending tone, and it's just odd. So let's hop into it.
Okay, guys, I lost the baby, and I don't know exactly where I put it. It has to be around here somewhere. Okay, so some of you guys are probably wondering, no, I am not pregnant. And I'm sure some of you are shocked. When you're a content creator, the line between entertainment and reality is very blurred. Your audience will become very attached to an abstraction of yourself. And the odd thing is that this connection can become very personally meaningful to the viewers, whilst not being personally meaningful to the creator itself. Your attention is monetarily valuable to me. And unless you have some narcissistic tendencies, which a lot of us do, the experience of having a parasocial relationship with your audience can be very uncomfortable. I'll give you
Okay, so far she said, you're obsessed with me. I don't care about you. I just want you to watch my videos so I could get ad revenue. And to top it all off, you make me uncomfortable. So far she's just kind of shitting on her audience.
And because you desperately want to connect to someone. I lied about being pregnant as a joke. And the joke is not that pregnancy under strenuous circumstances is funny. The joke is not that the audience was gullible enough to believe that I was pregnant. The joke is you connected to something that wasn't real. And I have become something that isn't real. We all come here to find this connection over and over again. And we don't really find it until now, when you subscribe to my Patreon. Oh yeah, that's fucking right. This entire stunt has been an advertisement for my Patreon.
Okay, so just to recap, the pregnancy, the miscarriage, the thumbnail, the title, all that was to get us to subscribe to her Patreon. And that's not even really the worst part, because once she starts to explain her logic behind this, and just wait until you see the prices of the Patreon. It's awful. Just wait.
I'm also announcing that I'm coming back to YouTube. Listen, I wanted to come back to YouTube and explain to everyone why I had been gone and what had happened to me in that time that made me want to come back. But some of you in my audience are pretty weird, and I don't blame any of you. You know, you can't help being weird. But I didn't think that it would be healthy for me to expose myself like that to all of you. And that's why I decided to keep a lot of my more sensitive information behind a paywall, where I would hope some of the audience would be more intentional with how they interact with me, because now it costs money to do so.
So her logic behind creating the Patreon was to create a paywall to make people less parasocial, but that just opens the door to parasocial people. So really nothing she's saying, none of any of this makes sense at all whatsoever. She's insinuating that the audience that pays for the content is less likely to be weird, when in reality, that's just the opposite of what's true. And even her fans are pretty pissed off. This girl says all the single mothers who poured their hearts out under the first video have a really neat surprise in store. This guy says, my wife was pregnant. At her 12-week ultrasound, we discovered we lost the baby. I saw it break that woman, and she has fought back and become a stronger person from it. She told me not a day goes by that she doesn't think about it, and this was 3 months ago. To fake a pregnancy, fake a miscarriage, and pry donations from misdirected sympathy is ignorant, self-entitled, insensitive, and cruel. And if you think these are people who aren't her fans all in the comments, well, that's just not true. This person says, I just don't get it. Maybe I'm too old, but there's got to be a better way to present your parasocial relationships are bad, but not when you pay me, hot take than this. I've been subscribed since the beginning, and I'm not unsubbing yet, but I feel deeply gross, like I found a roach in my shoe. It's just bad. And the replies all agree. This guy says, I feel the same, except I will actually unsubscribe. This left a bad taste in my mouth, and I don't want to be a part of it anymore. And they all seem to generally agree, and these are her fans. The angle just does not seem very well thought out. Just the faking the miscarriage to promote a Patreon to make parasocial people have to pay behind a paywall, but you're saying it's so you don't have to deal with parasocial people. Just none of it makes sense. Seems very not well thought out. I'm genuinely surprised that not one person in her life didn't tell her that this is a terrible idea. That says to me that she must be only hanging out with people who are her age or younger, and they're just starstruck by her fame. But this is the actual Patreon right here. You got the $7.23 a month where you get behind the scenes content, general support. Then you got the big dogs, exclusive content, behind the scenes content, general support, up close and personal, $50 per month, which is basically all the other same stuff, but you get top secret info, whatever that is. And then you get a live chat. So you get access to a group chat. Totally not parasocial, more parasocial than any aspect of YouTube whatsoever, having a group chat with people who you're calling weirdos. So none of this makes sense. And then to top it all off, she has a $300 per month subscription, in which the only extra things on this list are life advice. Personally, I do not want any life advice from somebody who faked a miscarriage, so I don't know what kind of advice she's giving out, but it's probably shit. And child support, by my definition of child support. So I don't know what that means, possibly some inside joke, but $300 a month for essentially nothing. Well, not nothing, just nothing more than the other tiers. And that's bad, because this is actually really bad, this $300 per month. Because whenever somebody takes somebody's money, there becomes now an expectation. And I'm telling you right now, nobody is paying $300 a month for advice from somebody who faked a miscarriage. This is only opening the door to potential creeps who are going to pay $300 a month, and they're not getting much in return. So they're going to be using that as ammo against her, saying like, hey, let's meet up. I pay you $300 a month. Let's be friends. Because when you accept financial support from someone directly, you're creating a sense of obligation or some sort of expectation in return, which is why this tier is very weird. Not all of this is weird, but once you get to large money amounts and you're not really offering much in return, that is weird. And I'll give you a perfect example of why this tier is very unusual, because this is somebody who, for example, would pay $300 essentially to just support her for no reason. This guy right here, he says, if this is real, this is him commenting on her pregnancy announcement video. He says, if this is real, I am so happy for you. I'm a cold 48-year-old man who is very rigid in my ways. A bitter Gen Xer from New England who is essentially a salty old sailor with a frozen heart. I have to say, this news and your video warmed my heart. I had a feeling which I have not experienced in 10 years. I thought about the love of my life who is now married with children and is happy. I wonder if I will someday have a child. Anyway, I had that feeling because you gave me some hope of this future we have on Earth here. I have been following your content for some time because I feel you are genuine and get it. You will make a great mother, and if this is a bit, it's the best one yet. But if not, then I, as well as most people, wish you the best. Now, nothing against this guy personally, but he's 48 years old, and he's been watching a 20-year-old's content for years, which means, so let's say this guy's a 43-year-old man 5 years ago. She's 15 5 years ago. Some people could see that as weird. I'm not saying this guy's, up to no good in particular, but he is a good use case for what I'm trying to say. So back to why this is a terrible idea is because really the only people that are going to be able to afford to piss away $300 per month are going to be older guys making six figures who are lonely and parasocial, and she's taking advantage of them. So this is very quickly going to turn into a full-time job of her texting lonely men and doing group chats. And I feel like it's going to take away from her actual YouTube audience, which got her to where she is in the first place. So I just think this is a weird move overall, but to each his own. If it makes her happy, then I guess that's fine. But I'm curious to what you guys think. Obviously, she's a joking girl. A lot of her channel is comedy. Is this just a joke? Is it somebody becoming out of touch? I personally think this can't just be a joke because you're spinning it into promotion for a Patreon. So money is not a joking matter. So if she's trying to get people to pay her money, in which she has a lot of people who join, there's 507 members. That's not really a joking matter when it comes to people's hard-earned money, when it comes to you taking donations from people. So I think she's trying to pass it off as a joke. She attempted some sort of prank. I don't even know what you would call this. It just really wasn't well thought out. I just thought it was super interesting. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.